Hey, 2025 is over. Thank goodness. Experts agree that 2025 was the worst year for real estate in over 30 years. That's a long time. Now, what caused these challenges and what's our outlook for 2026? Well, the primary issue was affordability. People simply could not afford new houses, they couldn't afford to move. Following the COVID 19 pandemic, house prices shot up exponentially. They went up by about 40%. Now, it wasn't just housing prices that went up. Mind you, fuel and food, essential items, they went up 50%. But at the same time, wages, they crept up a little bit, but they didn't come close to staying even with the way prices were going up across the board. This happened all over the country, but according to Investopedia, let's see here, Montana experienced the largest affordability gap between actual household income and the recommended income required to purchase a medium-priced home. Interest rates soared to about 7%, and to further complicate things, there was so much fear and uncertainty during this time. There was economic uncertainty. There was interest rate uncertainty. There was political uncertainty, market uncertainty. No one knew what was happening or what was going to happen. Now, in a situation like this, people do not make major decisions. We had very few sales in 2025, and we didn't even have a lot of offers in 2025. At the same time, inventory was at historic lows. A lot of that was because the boomer population, the people born between 1946 and 1964, they represent about 40% of the homeowners in Montana. That's well over the 20% that share the population. Because of this, the boomers had an extremely high role in what was happening. Many of them had wanted to sell their house for the last couple of years, but most chose not to list. They were holding out for prices to go back up. And those who did list, if they didn't get their price, which usually was inflated at the time, they would take it off the market and would not relist it. Normally, if somebody decides to sell, if it doesn't sell the first time around, they relist the house, but that didn't happen last year. A lot of people had low interest rate mortgages. Why would they trade a 2, 3, 4% mortgage in for a 7% mortgage? That didn't make sense. And as an aside, if you'd like more information on how boomers are affecting our real estate market, go to the WestMontanaHomes YouTube page and check out how are boomers affecting the real estate market. It's got some pretty cool information for you. Now, another factor affecting the housing inventory was the number of new homes that were built in the previous few years. Home builders had been facing significant difficulties post-COVID. The cost of materials had skyrocketed, supply shortages persisted, regulations, red tape, rising permit costs, these factors severely limited new construction, leading to several years where there just were not enough homes built to meet the demand. A shortage of homes typically drive prices up. However, due to the pent-up demand, the persistent uncertainty, the buyer hesitation, the home prices actually declined. Now, this phenomenon was not unique to Montana. Similar trends played out all across the United States, and some areas were hit really hard. The ones that had gone up the highest during post-COVID, they're the ones that came down the fastest. And of course, Montana was one of those. Real estate cycles generally last 3 to 5 years. And I think this turn is likely going to follow somewhat the same trajectory. In the scenario that we have today, the Federal Reserve they'd made several predictions during 2025, and how many of them came true? Most of them did not. Our interest rates are in the low sixes, and they've been pretty stable for the past few months. They're expected to stay there and possibly go into the high fives. Those rates, they promote market stability. And that's important. Rates have fluctuated all over during the years. While post-COVID rates dropped to the twos and threes, which those levels will never be back again. You'll never see that. If we live another 150 years, we will not see 2 and 3% interest rates. When I bought my first house, though, it was at 17.5%. Now, such extremes are unhealthy in either direction. And I think in 2026, interest rates are going to stabilize, and that's expected to have an important, huge factor. Wages are gradually increasing. We are looking forward to some tax advantages. Home prices are coming down some. So the affordability gap is narrowing. And in addition, there are unique and out-of-the-box solutions for a lot of people, such as loan assumptions. Most people don't even know about those, and that can make a major, major difference in your payments going into the future. What can you afford? It's advantageous to get with an expert who knows what they're talking about to help you through some of these things and give you your options. As many of the baby boomers, they actually wanted to move a couple of years ago, but they're still facing that high maintenance, the inadequacy of their building design or functionality, the lack of certain features that they now need in their homes. Taxes, insurance, utility costs are raising astronomically. So downsizing is becoming a practical option and sometimes a necessity. This is leading to more homes entering onto the market. In fact, in November and December, the market activity increased notably compared to the rest of the year. Mortgage applications have also risen by 31%. That's pretty major. This is indicating a strong buyer interest. In fact, Lawrence Young of the National Association of Realtors forecasts a 14% increase in home sales in 2026. That's no small bump. That is a surge. It's important to recognize that housing market predictions are inherently uncertain. Real estate professionals, they make forecasts based on available data, but absolute certainty is not, it's impossible. So don't forget, real estate decisions should be based upon personal circumstances and financial analysis, not solely on market predictions. Your home should serve your needs. It should be working for you. And with careful planning, you can make choices that will work for you. I just heard that a recent analysis by Bankrate identified Montana as the fastest growing housing market in the country. And as the market shifts, new opportunities will arise for those who are prepared and proactive. You know, Diane Kennedy, she's the CPA for the Richard Kiyosaki Rich Dad Poor Dad team. She offers some valuable advice. She says there are two fatal flaws on the road to wealth. The first is to do the right thing at the wrong time. The second is to do the wrong thing at the right time. Many people miss opportunities by waiting too long or overanalyzing a phenomenon known as analysis paralysis. So don't let analysis paralysis hold you back. Reach out for expert guidance to evaluate your current situation and explore your options and where you want to go. With the proper analysis and planning, you can make informed housing decisions that will support your lifestyle and your long-term goals. So follow West Montana Homes YouTube channel for ongoing updates, and we'll have insights as time goes on, or call or text. Happy to talk with you at any time.